match day -1, which is now a decider. Who would have thought when the series started that we would actually be looking at a decider? The subject on the dugout is, will Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma be included in the third ODI versus West Indies? But before we answer that burning question, the update from the Caribbean is that yesterday he did not travel, which is Virat Kohli, did not travel with the team when they moved from Barbados to Trinidad.
Yeah.
He was not with the team. But today he is arriving in Barbados on the match day. Trinidad from Barbados on match day.
As in tomorrow?
Tomorrow. No, today he is arriving a day before the match day. Match day -1, that is today. He's going to arrive a day before the match day. Of course, match is tomorrow. Which means, first I thought that he will not be available to play, but now that he's reaching, I mean, otherwise he could have taken the exit flight out of Barbados because they are direct flights. If you remember 2007 when India lost, they went from Trinidad to Barbados and then took the flight to London from Barbados. So there are more connecting flights to London from Barbados than from Trinidad. Now if he's gone all the way to Trinidad a day before the game, is that an indication that he will be playing tomorrow? What does that tell you?
I don't know whether he will or he will not, but I think he shouldn't. Both Rohit and Virat shouldn't play the game tomorrow because going by what Rahul Dravid said yesterday or day before yesterday, I think if they are doing all these experiments to figure out as to what their best possible or available options are, I think going by that, you should continue to rest Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. As far as Virat Kohli arriving late, things like these do happen. You would remember the second test match against West Indies only. There was a report that Virat was staying in some different hotel, and on the eve of the test match, he moved to the team hotel.
This was World Test Championship final.
World Test Championship?
Yeah.
So that's fine. As long as, I think Virat would be the last person to, if he's part of the team and not come to the ground, if he's there in the team as in squad, and doesn't show up during the match, even in the dressing room, because we know that how unhappy he becomes when somebody is not, I won't say somebody doesn't turn up, but you would remember one episode when he sent a player back to India after he was found sleeping
in the dressing room.
But so you said that you wouldn't want them to play, but the fact that he's travelled is an indicator that he's available to play.
No, I would want to, but they shouldn't.
They shouldn't. Okay.
Ideally now.
But
I would have wanted them to play all the 3 games.
Yeah.
First game they decided not to bat. I mean, the coach decided not to let them bat, which was fine. That day I said it's perfect. But then I would have expected them to play in the second ODI. Now that they've not played in the second ODI, makes no sense for them to play in the third ODI, because the purpose for which you drop them and allowed the others an opportunity gets defeated. So now that they didn't play the second ODI, they ideally should not play in the third ODI, because if you are experimenting, if you are hell-bent on messing up your World Cup campaign, so be it.
So firstly, the indicator to me is the fact that he didn't travel with the team. I feel is an indication that he is not playing. I think
of course.
that is the only reason they may have allowed him to travel a day later.
I think his family is also traveling with him, or are they back after the test matches?
No, they were there during the test matches, so I don't know whether they're there. But it could be 2 reasons. One, now my mind is also aware as to why he didn't travel with the team. There was no, commercial arrangements in terms of ad shoot. Sometimes you have some, function to attend or something. There was none of that, is what I'm hearing. Unless it is a sign of him not being too happy. That is also possible, because apparently this decision was conveyed to him that he will not be playing. He was keen to play the second game. The decision of him that he will not be playing was conveyed to him on the morning of the second ODI. This is after this was conveyed to Rohit Sharma on the eve of the ODI by the chairman of selector. So chairman of selector actually travelled. He is the guy who's actually spoken to the captain and the other senior member as to that they are not going to be playing the second ODI. Whether he's now not
So
travelled
this
because
decision was taken by Ajit Agarkar, not Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma.
maybe in consultation with Rahul Dravid, but was communicated by Ajit Agarkar. I don't know whether it was taken by Ajit Agarkar, but was communicated by Ajit Agarkar.
Yeah, Ajit Agarkar is the one who's carried bad news to the team management
Yes.
about the fitness of two of your batsmen.
Yes. Yes.
And again, my mind goes back to 2011 World Cup when you were crystal clear about your team. The players knew exactly what their role was. 2015 also, you were sure about your team. The players knew their roles, and I think both the World Cups you performed exceedingly well. 19 World Cup, you were unsure about number 4 and 5 and all that, and here you don't even know what's going to happen. My point is, why are your preparations blinded by the fact that two of your batsmen are working on their fitness? They may or they may not get fit. It is the first rule of cricket that you plan with the people that you have with you, those who are fit. Be it Sanju Samson, be it Suryakumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan. Now my point is, Nikhil, if they're actually preparing for life without Shreyas and KL Rahul, ideally Ishan Kishan should then bat at number 4 and not open the innings. Yes, while he opens the innings, he got 2 opportunities, he scored runs. So that's good for his confidence. But then again, the role play.
So just a couple of things on that. One, I agree with you that you should have planned, but I'm saying if the bearer of the bad news is Ajit Agarkar, and if he's the one who's really communicated, did they really have anything before this where they could have started? Assuming, let's say that there was a gap of 1 month and there was that WTC cycle before that, so you were not playing ODIs. My point is, this is the first ODI that you've played in a long time since the time that you have now gotten to know, because you were banking on them being fit. The first time you've gotten to know they're not going to be fit is now. And so now you've pressed the panic button that they're not going to be fit. Who are my other guys?
No, but
so
why were they sure of them being fit just before the Asia Cup?
I mean, that I don't know whether there was indication, whether they were the NCA, whether they thought that.
And my point is, if they were not fit, and if they're not fit, and if still is touch and go, I would ideally want my best 2 batsmen to also have match practice. Rohit Sharma, he should get runs. Virat Kohli should get runs. So that, by the time you go to the Asia Cup, month end, you would be going to the Asia Cup without having played white ball cricket for
close to 6 months.
Close to 6 months.
Yeah, but let's say both Virat and Rohit got runs in Test cricket. I mean, the thought could have been that none of these guys who are a Suryakumar Yadav or maybe even Akshar Patel, they played in the middle order. Who knows? There was a suggestion from one of our viewers. We discussed that at one point you were discussing even Jadeja at number 4. Who knows? Even Akshar Patel could say that I could be a batter. He's won you matches. I'm saying all these guys, whether it's Sanju Samson, if Virat and Rohit continue to play, there is no chance, because you're only left with 3 ODIs, that everyone gets a chance.
It is too close to call now.
I'm saying
I don't think
if it would have happened.
No, but I don't think Akshar Patel at 4 or Jadeja at 4 are anyways going to be a viable option, because you've got a left-hander whose name is Ishan Kishan. He can bat at he'll have to bat at number 4.
He will
have to bat at number 4.
Yeah.
And again, don't tell me Babar Azam, whose cover drive is the talk of the town, practices only square cuts these days, and he doesn't practice his cover drive. Your best players got to be match fit day in day out. They've got to play every day. Their confidence will take the team along, and not they come back and they're banking on the others to if India are to do well in the World Cup, it will be because of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli's bat.
Sure. Okay, I'm saying if you're playing the World Cup, the first game against Australia, first game against Australia, the first 2 names that you're going to write are definitely Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. I agree with you. If India have to do anything in the World Cup, it will be on the back of good performance from Rohit and Virat. That's a given. I'm saying, but with them, if they play these games, there's nothing new I'm going to learn. They are my stalwarts. They are my, reed ki haddi, whatever backbone of the team. I am agreed to all of that. I'm saying I have no idea whether Sky is the guy for ODI cricket. I have no idea right now. I have no idea whether Sanju Samson can be the guy who can fill in KL Rahul's place. I have no idea whether Ishan Kishan can continue that form, because after that 200 he had a patchy form in ODI. So I'm saying this is the only way which allows me to play all of them. But if by Asia Cup I'm not ready with all these answers, but Rohit Virat will definitely play. My
You will not be. You will not be ready with any of the
Maybe,
answers.
but that's been undone by their poor batting performance in these games. Had some of them got runs, let's say Sky had got runs, he got 100 or whatever. Maybe you would have looked at it and said, we've got some answers. Maybe Sky is that guy we need to replace Iyer with. It's unfortunate that you played those guys and they didn't get runs. So the opportunity that they got.
No,
was
even Hardik Pandya, stand-in skipper in the last game, said
Yeah.
that we are looking for answers. Rahul Dravid also mentioned that we are looking for answers. But there is no consistency in the kind of in the manner they are playing, especially with the 11. I think they were assuming a lot of things.
Yeah.
They were assuming that Shreyas Iyer and KL Rahul will be fit in time for the Asia Cup. B, what they were assuming was that the moment they get fit, they'll be in red hot form. It doesn't work like that, because if
Never does.
Because if
Never
somebody hasn't played for such a long time, KL Rahul in the first week of May went out.
Yeah.
Shreyas even before
March.
that. So they haven't played cricket, any form of cricket rather. So they were assuming. Now the problem is, you just have to decide who what is your plan B? Who will be your replacement for Rahul and Shreyas? I think one of them might just make it. Rahul, I think.
Between the two of them,
yeah, I think Rahul is the bigger worry here. KL Rahul is the bigger worry.
Did you notice he put a full reel
Yeah.
the day after this comment was made of him batting, bowling, all things that he was doing.
See, again, Nikhil, you
Because
would not
this
know.
message would have
No,
gone
but
to him.
you would not know whether he batted for 3 minutes
sure.
or did he bat for 3 hours.
I agree. No, but
You're talking
maybe-
about a World Cup
I am 100% in agreement with you. I'm saying
wherein he's also expected to keep wickets.
I'm saying it's his point. He's maybe feels. As soon as somebody says about him.
See, that's
that
for
he
the
may not
media
be
and the
fit, so he's
fans.
quickly put a video.
I
out saying,
think,
boss.
again,
That is exactly what
we've seen in the past these reels, they're always misleading.
Sessions.
I mean, the selectors would know, the physios would know, the trainers would know, the players would know.
Where they are.
Exactly.
And so you could have easily decided as to my perfect replacement for say KL Rahul is
Sanju
Samson, because Ishan Kishan, we know that he will definitely be there in the 15-member squad, irrespective of whether KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer are fit or not.
But he may be in the 11.
That's
I
what
have
I'm
a
saying.
Sanju
No,
Samson in case.
true. I agree. So, but I'm saying as of now, to make it to in the 15-member squad. So, Sanju Samson. Have you given Sanju Samson enough opportunities?
No.
Okay.
He's got one, nah.
No.
He only got when you rested Virat and
Nikhil, see, for this 4-year cycle, from last World Cup, ODI World Cup, to this World Cup, ODIs were irrelevant. ODIs became relevant only and only after the IPL. Unfortunately, after the IPL, you are left with 3 games here, 5 games in Asia Cup, and then
3 games against Australia.
3 against Australia. That is
11 games in total.
11-12 games.
Combined.
So the relevance to ODI was only, or is rather only and only for 11-12 games. Now you want to pick a squad. Now you have to pick up backup players on the basis of these 11 games. Do you play your first choice 11? Do you have a first choice 11 available? Now you have messed it up. I agree that you were trying to experiment on a few things. Akshar Patel batting at number 4. What sort of an experiment was that?
I'm saying I agree that it seems bizarre, but I'm saying if you are looking at a Sky, you are looking at a Sanju Samson, whatever. If they don't come good, maybe you're also looking at. I'm saying if I'm Akshar Patel, I may have said that I'm a proper batter now, just like Ravindra Jadeja is. He has won you white ball games in IPL.
Nikhil,
in
I have a
cricket,
different opinion
in
there.
T20, ODI,
An
everywhere.
all-rounder. An
See,
all-rounder.
just because I'm a spinner,
No,
why
but
do you
no.
look at me
No, see, an
as a
all-rounder
backup?
can bat well at times. He is not a specialist batsman.
I agree.
A specialist batsman and an all-rounder. I mean, Ravindra Jadeja could make that transition fine. I don't think Akshar Patel can be traded as a pure batsman. I don't think so.
And
There could be
the
arguments
only
made that he's been a better batter than Jadeja in white
No,
ball.
but then again,
In white
at
ball.
number 7 or 8. But as number 4,
how many times? And
I would
where-
much rather have a specialist batsman
Sure,
taking
the
up
only
that.
this is
problem
a-
that I have is, would you want to have Akshar Patel
50
there
pounds, yeah.
at number 4
Singularity.
4 or 5, or would you want to have a regular batter there
regular,
so,
no
and
doubt,
if
no
Akshar
doubt.
Patel is in your scheme of things, he should have been part of each and every ODI that you played in the last couple of years. He should have played at number 4 or 5 in the last 12 months.
But that was the time where you thought there is Shreyas Iyer, there is. But now it is.
That's the problem, no?
Problem is now.
So basically, you are pushing somebody who was batting in the lower middle order. Suddenly, you are asking him to bat at number 4, and you already have Ishan Kishan, who may or may not bat at number 4. You never know. Maybe Rohit and Shubman will open. Then what do you do with Ishan Kishan? Maybe he has to bat at number 4. You have a Suryakumar Yadav also. You have a Sanju Samson also. You never know. Maybe Shreyas Iyer is also fit. And what do you do in the Asia Cup? What is your playing 11? What if Shreyas Iyer is fit and available? You play him.
I can vouch on the fact that even during the Asia Cup, the Indians would not be sure about their combination. They would still be experimenting there, and if they lose in the Asia Cup, that is bound to create pressure on the team management, on the batsmen. Yet, they will tell you that we are not worried. Like they were not worried last year.
Yeah.
They were not worried last year. I think in a World Cup year,
My problem.
2 months to go for the World Cup, Siddharth. 2 months to go for the World Cup.
My problem is they can experiment, but they're experimenting in the wrong place.
Why can they and why should they experiment?
Because you have to try out your bench strength. You're scrambling for options now because you're not.
Do you drink milk?
Yes.
फूक फूक के पीते हो? नहीं?
At the right time.
At the right time. So the
How
point
do you
is,
drink, he's asking. Do you drink like in one gulp or do you?
नहीं जला हुआ दूध.
is it
No,
very
hot milk.
How do you do?
Warm milk.
Warm milk. So he is careful. So you are like England, you are like Australia. You're careful,
Yeah.
not to burn your milk. They've already done that twice, yeah, in the last 2-3 years.
And not
20
even making khoya out of it also.
No,
at
in
this
fact,
point, at this point, the milk is curdling. It's not even burnt.
well, yeah, 19
Next
World
level.
Cup they did the same. Even though it was a very well settled team.
Honestly, I'll say something. This time it's worse. Because that time it
It
was
is.
only the word number 4 that was a problem. Now you're scrambling for a 4 and a 5.
5.
I
What
think,
happens if your top order fails?
I think ideally, if you go back in time 2 years ago when you lost the Dubai World T20, you should have altered your T20, should have included a few youngsters. Those youngsters should have played the last year's World T20, and it would have allowed them 2 years to make their cases for the 50 overs World Cup as well. You never know. A couple of them may have been in the one day World Cup scheme of things. Now, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, these are the only 2 world-class batsmen that you have. The others are not able to make the transition from T20s to 50 overs.
And as Nikhil pointed out,
It would be click. You
we would not have been discussing this supposing had Suryakumar Yadav prospered and had Sanju Samson gotten his chances and done well. The problem is neither of these two have happened.
Suryakumar
Surya has
Yadav
not
will will be included in that World Cup.
Yeah, because there is no other option. We don't have
Not
options.
because he's said the say that.
Yeah.
Couple of
Because apart from Shreyas Iyer,
I think
next
because
batsman
he
Surya.
is capable of setting the stage on fire. I think that is the reason
Yeah.
why they will pick him.
And that
Potential.
there's nobody to
it's
push
only
him.
potential. But
And there are no other candidates to push him.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the other thing you pointed
Yeah,
out. Had
there's no one
somebody
else.
else, like a Sanju Samson played a
Yeah.
knock that day or the next,
Then
he would have been pushed.
there would
That's
still have
the
been
Twitter
questions.
trend is going on. Sanju in an ODI year will play only T20s. In a T20 World Cup year, he'll play only ODIs. That's the trend.
He said they plan it. He says they plan it like this.
So,
purposely.
and look at it.
I am actually very disappointed with Rahul Dravid. Yeah. Very disappointed. I mean, again, Doodh Ka Jala, 2007 he was the captain when Greg Chappell coped all the blame. So by that logic, should you not blame your coach now?
Yes.
Is he in command of the team as much as Greg Chappell was at that time?
I don't
Greg
think
Chappell
so.
ran the show.
Hypothetically,
He ran
if
the show.
Greg Chappell was allowed to run the show, who allowed him to run the show?
The skipper.
The skipper.
Yeah.
You know, there were many Indian players, senior Indian players, who felt let down. They would tell us then that the captain doesn't speak about us to the coach here. The coach treats us like school kids and the captain doesn't interfere. And you lost that World Cup. Now, I'm not saying that Rohit Sharma's leadership should not be questioned. I think your leadership has to be questioned. Both the captain and the coach and the support staff. Right now we're talking about selections. Like Nikhil pointed out, we should also be talking about the performance.
Yeah.
Why can't they play spin?
Yeah.
What stops them from making the transition from T20s to one days?
Yeah.
Or should I go by what Andy Roberts said? Or should I go back and go by what Kapil Dev said?
Please bring that. What is
Venkatesh Prasad.
Venkatesh Prasad
Yeah.
and Kapil Dev. We'll take
The
that.
point is, you've got to learn from your mistakes. And you will only learn from your mistakes once you realize that you made a mistake.
I don't think they know they're making.
बस फिर
Couple of points because you pointed that out. We kept that ready to be brought out in the discussion. Venkatesh Prasad has just said that despite the money and power, we have become used to celebrating mediocrity and are far from how champion sides are. Every team plays to win, and so does India. But their approach and attitude is a factor for underperformance over a period of time.
carbon copy of what Viv Richards said in the late 90s, minus the money and the power.
But who is
The rest
celebrating?
is the same.
Who is celebrating mediocrity?
Me, you, the fans,
We don't celebrate.
we do,
Where do we
we
celebrate?
do.
Rarely celebrate.
I'm telling
You
you.
often criticize for not celebrating the success.
No. The point is, if we call them out, the management and their decisions, maybe.
You are traitors.
Huh?
You are traitors.
So, I don't think. I think it's also the prerogative of the BCCI. The BCCI is simply letting them maybe ruin the pipeline of Indian cricket. I mean, you may be the world leaders in terms of revenue, but are you really the world leaders in terms of your cricket? What Venkatesh Prasad is saying is simple. You're not a newfound team. You've been playing for years now. You won World Cup in 83, 11, Champions Trophy, World T20. You're not doing well now. You're not a startup. By now, yes, there will be transitions in any cricket team's fortunes. You'll have to rebuild and then rebuild again. But it's the decisions that I'm worried about.
Yes.
I don't think the team knows what they are expected to do. If somebody like Virat Kohli is told on the morning of the game that he may not be required to play because they're testing out others, I don't think that sends out the right signal. You cannot let somebody like Virat or Rohit or any other senior player sit in the dressing room and brood. You can't.
Was that the result why he's taken a flight a day later?
That I would not
No,
know.
and why did you have to decide it? Why did you have to decide it there and then? You could have easily asked Virat and Rohit to sit out of the Test series, ODI series.
Yeah, why were they
Why
picked
did
in
they
the
have
first
to
place?
come?
No, that's because that team was not picked by AajTak.
No, that is fine. That's fine. I'm saying at least I'm sure Rohit and Dravid, they must have thought about it. Something at least that we need to try, or maybe this is when they got to know about KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer only a few days back.
Exactly.
That KL Rahul will not be fit in time, and so
Iyer
yeah,
50-50, whatever.
and Shreyas Iyer is also not too sure. So, but even the captain, these players, they're all friends. They could have spoken to some. I'm sure they would have been monitoring the progress
But
through the
players
player
sometimes-
himself.
No, but the players sometimes don't know the real picture. Players is always very bullish about his chances that I'll be ready. Maybe this has come from people who are monitoring them, who look after their day-to-day fitness and their assessment rather than the players' own assessment, because players' own assessment based on the reels that they put out seems like that they are fit, that they could take the field.
That too they have
Maybe
to
this is a
be.
neutral perspective.
That too they have
That-
to be. These
that is
reels and Instagram posts, reels, everything.
This is relevant then, no?
So this is what Kapil Dev has said. He said that IPL is a great thing, but IPL can spoil you also, because a little bit of injuries and you will play in the IPL. He's clearly pointing out at a few players, because we know, you don't even have to take names because it's happened.
Yeah.
A little bit of injuries, you won't play for India, you would take a break, and I'm being very open about it.
It's a fact.
No,
It's been happening and it will continue to happen, because franchise, any business house who's invested thousands of crores in a franchise, they will not allow, or at least they would not like, unless a player is seriously badly injured, needs surgeries. We've seen players delay surgeries also.
Yes. For playing the IPL.
Exactly.
So that they don't miss it.
So-
And soon after the IPL it is done.
Broadcaster also wants these players.
Despite
But
BCCI.
Boswata would want for World Cup also, na?
No,
They
that's,
want it all year round.
Yeah.
but
Despite a team finishing way at the bottom, you would want to play all 14 games for them, isn't it?
Because then you're.
yeah, it happened with Jasprit Bumrah.
Exactly.
It happened with a lot.
Lot.
Okay, two super chats that we've got. One is Malika Arjun Chaudhary. He's saying Ishant's career is heading the way KL's once. Once he was in the middle order, next he's opening, but there's no realistic chance of him opening in World Cup. Big admirers of your work on platform. Thank you,
Thank
Malika
you.
Arjun. Which is true, but I think the only reason they're opening is with him is because probably that allows him extended time to
In the
Yeah.
middle.
to play long. Eventually he'll bat at number 4, but getting him to open was, I think, a reason is that he gets enough overs to bat and stitch together a big score. Singularity sends us 50 pounds from UK, and he says that afraid this World Cup might be a rude awakening for us. If pitches similar to 2011, power scores will be 330 to 350. We lack A, power rating through 50 overs, B, 7-8 above average fielders, we just have 1 or 2 good ones, and C, the bowling concerns. Heart bleeds India, but mind is realistic. He is not too bullish about India.
And just to add to it, I think you also lack a finisher
Yeah.
who can really clobber the ball if need be. Because Hardik Pandya used to be that man, but unfortunately, I think he's not the same guy who can hit those sixes.
Right now, he just needs to
at will.
connect. Before that, then
First long hits will come later.
no. But in his defense, he's saying that he's taking the tortoise approach.
Tortoise approach.
He
No,
would
but that is
become
set
a
for his
rabbit.
bowling. That is set for his bowling only.
Oh, there was only bowling.
Yeah. Because someone asked him why aren't you bowling more overs? He said it's still steady.
So that means
Okay.
he will be like a tortoise.
No,
while
but he
batting.
will become a
No,
hare.
that
Big time.
to be fair, he's already
No, speed is up like a hare. It was 140 clicks.
Yeah.
He's bowling.
he's bowling at a good speed.
But only 3 to 4 overs.
So no, actually last week
Do
he was like
you,
four.
everyone, share Singularity's pessimism about India at the World Cup?
Yes,
I do.
absolutely.
I have to agree that 2019, when India went for that World Cup, I think they were ahead of the curve in the sense the whole world was watching how India was playing, even till 2019. Because I remember watching that documentary Australia made, and there
Test.
is World Cup, the test, and there is the World Cup also. And because you got insights of how Australians were looking at India, they always thought that India were the best ODI team at that time. The way they had that
they
plan.
were.
Yeah, the way they had that one bad day or one bad half hour, whatever
As
that
always.
was, that
As
finished
always.
that. But you're right, that World Cup you still knew that they can be world beaters. They are a team who are World Cup favorites.
But with one caveat that you needed the top 3 performing. Once I think Shikhar got injured, you were already worried because then it came down to Rohit Virat, and you knew that one day if one of them didn't have a good performance, or as the case happened in New
But
Zealand,
they had a
neither
good
of them-
bowling lineup.
No, they did, of course. They did.
They had a very good bowling
That's
lineup.
also been consistent throughout
Hardik,
the
in
world.
fact, bowled very well in all the games.
Yep. Bumrah,
He was-
Bhuvi bowled well.
On the top of his game.
Shami.
Chahal.
He may
Kulcha.
yet be there. He may yet be there. on top
Kulcha
of
wasn't
his
there in the semi-final, no?
They didn't.
Kulcha was dismantled
After England.
after the England.
England were the ones who actually dismantled that duo because they kind of took them.
Bairstow and Roy really took them to the clean.
Roy is always someone who's been underappreciated like that. Good
Yeah.
player of spin.
Yep.
Never struggled.
But you're
with spin.
batting. From 92 for 6 and 30 overs, you had no chance.
Okay, a very important, not a very big amount, but from a very important person in Super Chat.
Yes.
Mr. Chandresh is saying team's performance in white ball is reflective of the way board is also run. Honorary. It's an honorary performance.
Oh yeah.
No, but board, Chandresh is now becoming professional. Now see your selectors are getting paid according to the market standards. You have now paid for positions and a lot.
When is the Ireland series starting?
Ireland series around 17?
18th.
18th.
I think
18th.
हाँ तो अच्छा फिर ठीक है.
18th.
Kashif.
Kashif Wasim has just sent
Sent
love
love.
from Australia. Not a lot of love, but love nevertheless.
Love nevertheless.
Love nonetheless. Love is love. Satish B, what is he saying?
Sorry if I have been biased, but either England or Australia will lift the World Cup. Just looking at both teams' strengths and clutch players they have.
You're not being biased. You're being realistic.
I'm picking Australia as a clear favorite.
Yeah. They've got the most balanced team to play here in
India.
India, and they've got many options for every position.
Yeah.
I mean,
And destructive of
Yeah.
every position.
Stoinis, Maxwell.
All rounders.
Adam Zampa.
Zampa and
He has troubled the best of batters in the world, including the Indians.
Virat
If I
Kohli.
can.
We got a question from
Was there any
Pakistan
spinner
for you.
trouble,
Hamza from Rawalpindi.
Ah.
He's saying Nikhil Bhai and Vikrant Paji. Why is it that Rahane was brought into Test team because of his performance in the IPL? And why not Rinku in the ODIs then? Please answer.
Different strokes for different folks.
No, but could you have included Rinku in the
No,
ODIs?
you couldn't have. You would have probably at best included him for T20s, which they have done.
No, I think he'll go to the
Asian Games.
He'll go Asian Games. He'll go to Ireland,
Ireland
also.
also is
perhaps.
like
The Asian Games squad has already been announced. I don't.
Ah.
Is
Ah,
Rinku
he's
there?
He's in the
He's there,
squad.
he's
He's
there.
And by the way, Rinku in this on this tour, he would have been there for the T20Is, but because
They went with the
Hardik wanted a 15-man squad, and unfortunately, Rinku Singh was the 16th name on that list.
Yeah. Before we wind up, the question that we began asking on the show, will Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma be included in the third ODI? So we'll take our guesses.
No. Both are not been included.
This has been decided.
I agree with you.
No. You want them or what the team will do?
How does it matter?
No. It
I
matters.
would have,
Your
like I
opinion
said,
versus
I
what-
would have wanted them to play in
All
all
three
three
ODIs.
games.
Okay.
For hypothetically, for example, Rahul Dravid is listening to you.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a message to him?
For the third ODI only.
I
for
would
now.
want to tell him
No, you are telling him.
not to repeat what happened in 2007. The best preparation for any team would be to let your main players play in the roles defined for them and the others to rotate around them in those respective positions. If Ishan Kishan is going to play in your World Cup, which he might, then he has to bat at number 4.
Yes.
Your 1, 2 and 3 in these 3 games, barring the first one where you're just chasing 115, should have been Rohit, Shubman and Virat. That's all.
Virat and
बाकी
not what you want.
अक्लमंद को
What I
You have said that you don't want. What will they be playing on? What is the team going to do?
Virat should fly back to Barbados.
Why Barbados? Can
Take
they
the
fly
flight
back?
to London.
Yeah,
He's not
ba-
part of the T20 series.
Yeah.
No, he's not. So
Oh,
that's
he
what I'm
could fly
saying.
to Barbados.
Then why
go to
Barbados?
Spain?
That's why he could now
But,
Fly
but
back.
there are flights from
He
Port of Spain
shouldn't-
as well.
London.
No, I'm saying
there
that
are
he
flights.
doesn't.
There are
He
so
doesn't
there.
have to
So
play
why did the
the
Indian
final.
team travel from Barbados? Actually, I remember I also flew from Barbados.
No, I think because of the lack of bookings then. Maybe.
Trinidad.
I have once
They should
flown
be-
from Port of Spain to
London.
Once.
So he doesn't have to go to Barbados.
Okay. So I am saying he can very well rest, take rest, go around.
What do you think the team will do? Not what you want.
I don't think they'll. Both of them will play, or maybe Virat will not play.
I am saying if I was to guess, I think Rohit is playing the last game. Virat may not be playing.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, I agree. Makes no sense. It's just my punt. It's just
Because I
guess.
think you're sensing something that Virat is not too happy with the fact that he was
But
not
maybe.
told.
But that's got nothing to do with. He given a choice, he would still want to play the third ODI. But I guess he knew that he's not going to be playing the third ODI.
I think Virat and
if
Rohit
he didn't
both
travel,
shouldn't play.
Because you said why did he have to then travel? If he didn't travel, then that also could be misconstrued.
But on the eve of any match, India they hardly have had any practice sessions all these months, years.
Agreed. So that doesn't make a difference.
I think Virat will play. Rohit won't, because you want to give Gill some time in the middle. Gill hasn't been having a good time of things.
Irrespective of
What has got to do with Gill?
No, but Rohit, if he comes in, then he might just slot on the top. Gill, Rohit,
No,
Rohit.
will play, no.
Huh.
Gill and Rohit open them.
Irrespective of
Then Kishan,
Kishan
is too much of a khichdi. No, I still stick by what I
My
said.
only message to Rahul Dravid, what he's doing is he's overcooking the khichdi. Overcooking and a khichdi, a lethal combination. Now, if you pick Virat,
Kamal.
or if you pick Rohit, what's going to happen?
Birbal.
Oh, is that khichdi then?
Yeah.
बीरबल की खिचड़ी
Birbal ki khichdi.
बनती रहती है बनती रहती है
Yes.
बनती रहती है
That's what is happening. That's the problem. You get any of them in, the team composition is yet again gone.
It's already gone.
Yeah.
Make your peace with
But
that. It's
some
already
places
gone.
they say it was Birbal ki biryani also.
Yeah, that's
Is
why
it?
I was confused.
Some stories say khichdi.
No, I think it's Birbal ki
Yeah, I remember. I also
है
remember
ना?
khichdi. But I'm just going by that time. Did they have khichdi in those days? And what's khichdi made? Like,
Biryanis would be difficult those days.
biryani.
Khichdi is still possible.
No,
Yeah,
biryani,
but
was
biryani is
actually
very
cooked,
difficult.
cooked slowly. Na.
Achha.
Ah.
Khichdi is not cooked slowly.
Khichdi.
Anyway,
Khichdi was their fast food.
fast food. Yes. Okay, last couple of super chats. Mr. Shekhar is saying morning. So he says, since losses in South Africa, New Zealand, Bangladesh, Australia at home isn't a concerning indicator for me, at least don't downplay or ridicule other concerned fans like Sidvi yesterday. Wish I had your blind faith. So he's saying that you should be concerned with what the Indian team is doing. Is that what he's saying?
Yes.
Tanmay Joshi saying, why can't Ishan and Rohit and Gill, why
Ishan
can't
Rohit
Ishan and
open.
Rohit open and
Gill
at
bat at 4.
Gill will be a better middle order batsman than Sky and Ishan.
You're then adding another ingredient to the khichdi.
This is bizarre.
This is really
It is a khichdi now.
No, but if we to
Now?
push Shubman into middle order, no. He and Rohit opens.
You did it in tests.
If you want to now push somebody else, let Ishan have to make adjustment at number 4 rather than.
If you have to
get
earn a
Rohit-
spot,
Yeah.
you have to adjust with the team.
Correct. Anyway, he will be asked to adjust. If Rohit Bhaiya says that he
No, but something is better than nothing. Yaar, you're getting to play in the playing 11 and that too in a World Cup. I'll take you any
He's gotten
spot.
over
Any
that jive na,
position.
Rohit bhai, aap to khila nahi rahe ho mujhe.
हाँ.
So he's at least come that far now. But
Final comment.
Karthik K from the US is saying, all the mess is to fit mediocre KL. No, I don't think in ODIs he's that mediocre.
No, and also more importantly, first off, I don't entirely. But
Finish
in
his
this case, finish the question. Then
I'm
we'll-
sure batting experiment will fall in place eventually. But let it rip from Umran. We may need
We need backup for bowling too.
bowling too, of course.
No, I don't think this is to fit KL. It's because you don't have KL. Otherwise, KL was there. Period.
Yeah. He was the best player in ODIs here, whatever you may look at it.
Not best. Let's not go that far. But one of your better
matches at
batsmen.
least he won you.
Who?
KL Rahul. In this 2023 period.
Australia.
at least, and also Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka,
in,
yeah.
like, at Eden Gardens.
2 matches?
Yeah.
No, he's saying only in 2023.
Only 2023.
We hardly played
What?
any ODIs.
Who?
KL
KL
Rahul.
Rahul.
Actually, yes.
He was
Because-
no, he was decent at 5.
No, because he
Fair.
missed that South Africa series which Rishabh captained because immediately after the IPL
he got
he had to
injured.
go for that surgery.
And
Germany.
plus he came back under
Uh,
the Zimbabwe
hernia.
series.
Hernia, sports
Then got
hernia,
COVID.
and had to go with his wife for that surgery to Germany. Then,
Got
then a
Ah.
lot of things have happened. So he's missed, and that too. If you remember, I think Zimbabwe tour also
One
he
match
was
he played.
forced to go. Chacha, chale jao. And then he was the captain, and
then
there,
came back.
and
Then
why
over.
they wanted to send him because they wanted to get him ready for the World Cup so that he can get a some game time. And what he was trying to do, because I think Gill and Shikhar were opening,
Yeah.
and I think first couple of games
First
he
match, 10
didn't get a game.
When he
So
got
then
the-
later I think he decided that let me open. So he hasn't played too much of ODI cricket lately.
Just
too
when
much.
he was getting into the groove, he got that injury.
That's what
Again.
happens.
No, what
Unfortunate
groove?
guy.
No, but no, IPL he
KL.
didn't have it. IPL he was not having a great.
Yeah, I mean, for the first time, he scored less than 600 runs after say 5-6 years here.
I know.
KL.
Scuppered my prediction entirely.
I know.
One time I back him.
Okay, bye. Enough. Well, Dex wants to know who was the best cricketer in the Pollock family. Graham Pollock, without any
Yeah,
doubt.
Graham.
Otherwise,
But again,
No one has seen much of Graham. Sean Pollock. we
Sean
have
because
seen.
he played
in terms
so
of
much.
statistics,
Yeah.
Sean Pollock, Graham Pollock, again a case of what could have been.
Could have been. Peter Pollock also was there.
Yeah, but
Peter
Peter
Pollock,
didn't-
Sean's father,
Yeah.
was okay. I mean, Graham Smith and Sean Pollock were the.
Yeah,
Graham Pollock.
Yep.
Yeah, but because they counted him alongside
Yep.
the greatest to have played.
Graham
Even
Pollock, Barry Richards.
Barry Richards,
Yes.
yeah, the two.
Even
greats.
Clive Rice.
Clive Rice.
Clive Rice, yeah. But at least Clive Rice played at the end of it. But yeah,
He just
barely.
played county cricket.
Nottinghamshire.
No, okay, I led that team
Three
3
one
games.
days. But then again, he was
He was Buddha by
past
that
his
time.
prime.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember
in
the floppy
80s,
hats.
when
Yep.
there was this competition among the 4 all-rounders in the world.
Yeah.
Kapil Dev versus Ian Botham versus Imran
Versus
versus
Hadley.
Hadley. In the county games,
Clive
it was not
Rice.
4, it was 5.
Clive Rice.
You had Clive Rice
He
competing.
bettered Hadley a lot of times at Nottinghamshire.
Yeah.
1,000 runs and 100 wickets
Yes.
he did it often.
You've missed Sundar.
One super chat. I think that was
The-
yeah. Sundar
the-
had one. Yeah. Up.
Up.
Up there.
Sundar is saying, why Shardul in 15? We need fourth bowler, not 8-9 batters. You need 4 bowlers if top 3 bowlers are not picking the wickets.
Yeah, but he got 3 wickets.
Yeah,
now.
No, how can exactly? How are we questioning his place when he was?
Shardul will be there.
Satish also set a.
We
took
Satish.
Where you said that he's not being biased.
Yeah.
Chalo ji, fir good night kar do.
Good night, people.
Bye bye.
See
See you tomorrow. 6:15. Game starts at 7.
Brian Lara.
Brian Lara.